Hi there, it's Dr. Heyer from Holistic Health. Hope you're doing great and welcome to today's video, Testing Instead of Guessing. Testing instead of guessing. Last fall, some patients of mine and I went through a trial of our clinical weight loss program called Whole Life Prescription, the Whole Life Modification Program. And what was interesting is that before we did this program, we all had blood work done and we even had a stool study done to show us the health of our guts. Now, I'm a pretty healthy guy overall. I don't have any issues. My blood pressure is good. I, for the most part, eat pretty well. But I was actually surprised to see that some of my markers on my blood tests and on the stool test showed that I wasn't as healthy as I thought I was. Now, I would never have known that if we hadn't done those pre-programmed tests. And you know what? Maybe you've heard of people going to a doctor, getting a clean bill of health, and then ending up passing away a day or two later from a heart attack. Or maybe a person went in to get a regular checkup and turns out that they have cancer and they only have a couple weeks to live. My question for you is, was that person really healthy or were they just asymptomatic? They weren't healthy. They had health issues that weren't detected, and that's why we talk about early detection. And I think that's why people are starting to become more open to the idea of testing, and that's why it's so important in my world, because I want to know exactly what we're dealing with to get to the underlying cause. Now, fast forward through the program last fall, depending on which scale you want to believe, my scale at home said I lost 12 pounds. The scale in the office said I lost 17.4. Now, I'm going to be conservative and say 12 pounds. But had I not done the pre-program testing, I would not have known that my triglycerides went down, my cholesterol went down, my CRPs went down, my blood sugar went down, all of those things went down and improved. And I also wouldn't have known that there's some stuff going on in my gut, my digestive system that I would never have even known about because it's asymptomatic, that I am now working to improve and resolve. And so when people come in, it's really important for them to understand that sometimes they just plop their problems down in front of me with a bag full of burdens and say, "Doc, solve this problem." And then when I actually tell them what has to happen, you have to take responsibility for yourself, you have to take accountability for yourself, and we have to test to know where your health status really is. And then sometimes people will start to negotiate with me like I'm a car salesman, and they don't want to do that. They just want me to guess. Well, I'm not going to do that because your health is too important to just randomly guess at. And so the purpose of today's video really was to help emphasize testing. If you're doing a weight loss program and maybe you bought it online or maybe you've gone to some other office or clinic, if the doctor or provider or whomever isn't testing, if they're not doing blood work, if they're not doing functional stool studies, if they're not actually investigating where your health and metabolism is now, and they're just simply selling you a product, you may lose weight, but do you really know if you're getting healthy? And so, to me, it's important that we do testing to know where you start and where you finish, and if there's issues that need to be investigated further. So, just a little FYI, it's always best to test instead of guess.